Aerodome Part 2.
This used the original, one is using the original engine that they used in these, which was a Model A.
Wow.
Which is a little scary, exactly. I wouldn't trust a Model A to get me up the ground.
And what you were flying. So people used to just build these in their basement back in what, the 30s?
Yeah, this is from the 30s. But this was, obviously built maybe about 20 years ago.
And it's flown here?
No, actually the president of that aerodrome just got this at the end of last year. So now they're going through it and getting it ready to fly. Yeah. So they just took the engine out yesterday, and now they're going to go through it.
A little at a time, trying to...
Yeah, but I don't know if it flew before the other owner.
I mean, this is just...
It's Seekonite.
Seekonite is what?
It's a fabric like Dacron.
So this is just a frame.
Yeah, it's a frame that's covered with this. So you can see where it's sewn in on the ribs. And then you take an iron at different temperatures and gradually increasing it. And then it shrinks on there. And then it goes through a series of dopes, silver for the UV and everything, and then whatever the final color is.
Because, I mean, literally, this is just a membrane.
Yeah.
Like a drum.
Yeah. Same way on the wings, too.
Wow. And you said a Model T or Model A engine? Model A. Model A engine.
I don't think so.
Wow. Now the body's a little more substantial. It looks. No, it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
So God forbid you ever put this in the buckwheat. Your frame is stronger than this airplane.
Yeah.
You're
not strong. I mean, but if you go straight in, nothing's going to stop you. It's been bouncing.
Poor guy. Propeller got him, huh?
Yeah.
He wasn't the fast one. These are all heated too. So, I guess during the summer, your full-time job is just trying to keep everything alive.
Yeah, that's why during the winter I can concentrate on a project. During the summer, you're trying to do a project where you're trying to keep things running.
Yeah, I just want to, if we could get to the top of the hill so I can kind of shoot a...
over there is a 1926 Chandler.
The
gray one there, the black.
Oh, by the Texaco sign? No, that's more modern.
Over by the hangar.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're dragging all the planes around.
Well, they moved the planes out to get this one. It's in the back.
Okay. So that's an old Chandler over there.
Right. And the airplane they're bringing in is a Curtis Robin, and that again is a Brian Coughlin airplane.
He built it.
No, that's an original.
Oh, that's an original. Yeah. Now, on the planes that Cole brought here originally.
Right.
Now, which ones are they?
They're a Fokker D7, which is similar to this one, which was an original. That one's in the Air Force Museum.
Oh, so you guys have...
SPAD, which would be like that one, but it was all original. That one's in it's Smithsonian. And there's another one that he actually built from scratch, but it's so authentic. That's in a diorama within the Smithsonian Air and Space.
Okay. Now, how did they end up with the original stuff? You all
Cole Palin?
No. I know Cole brought up, got stuff from everywhere.
Field, yeah.
But how did the Smithsonian manage to get their hands on it?
Well, when he had it in his will. That, the original stuff, which were, they're priceless. He wanted them to go to those museums.
Okay.
So that was written in stone now, those. And this over here, you see, of those two wingers, the one on the right is an original.
Okay.
That's one of the oldest flying airplanes in the U.S. That's a Curtis Jenny.
Okay. And what year is that?
That would be probably about 1918.
Wow.
It has a Hispano V8 engine in it.
An original time period correct V8?
Oh yeah, no, that's it.
That's it.
And which is for the period, it was probably the most modern engine. And then to the left is an Albatross, a D3 or D5, and that was made by Cole Palin. And that's all. It's beautiful. It's a monocoque.
Right.
It's all plywood. But the original Mercedes engine, the crankshaft cracked. So they took a Ranger engine, which is an inverted air-cooled engine,
right,
and they flipped it right side up, and they modified it so it would run that way, and that's what it's using now.
So we saw the tank.
Right.
Now you said there was an armored carrier or something?
An armored car, but
yeah,
it's not much to see right now because we have to work on it.
Now that was just a truck turned into an armored car?
Yeah, apparently it was used in like an orchard or something with apples.
Now, are you guys still getting phone calls about, hey, I have this, come get it, or?
Sometimes people drop stuff off, yeah. And this is the airplane I told you Alex cracked up. From the insurance money, they were able to find the original fleet that Cole Palin had. It was in Arizona, and they were able to purchase it.
Now, and the one that got cracked up is?
That's across the street in a barn.
It's all.
And this is a Liberty V12 engine my buddy and I rebuilt.
And you guys just started up for demo purposes?
Right. And this is it's 1650 cubic inches.
Wow.
Yeah. But we were running it last year, not for the air show, but just during the week. And the 3 cylinders on the opposite side, they weren't idling right, so I brought the carburetor over to John in the intake manifold, and he found the intake, or the idle jet was all schmutzed up. So he cleaned that up. So that's one thing I want to do today, is get that straightened out. And while I was sitting here, a bird built a nest right in the V, so I had to clean that
beautiful.
out. I still have to clean that out.
I got to tell you, with my sheds and all, I have such trouble with mice and.
Oh yeah.
You're a little more wide open, so I imagine it's birds and all.
It's because they have to put traps out all over the place. Yeah, that's true.
And you're in fields and all.
And this, it's a swamp.
Yeah. Now, what's this rig?
That's an original World War I ambulance.
Wow. Now, what's the base truck is?
The what?
The base of the truck, what is it?
It's a Columbia.
Okay.
I think they were made in Massachusetts. And I did a quick rebuild on this because one winter when I got here, they couldn't even make it up into the hangar. So I took the block off and just put new rings in it and cleaned it up. So it runs pretty decent now.
Now, for rings and all, you were able to get what belongs here, or you substituted?
Hastings has, if you go online for Hastings, well, you probably know that, but
yeah.
Hastings has everything. So I always go to Hastings, and usually what happens is because the old rings were very thick. So luckily, the newer rings, they've made them exactly half of that.
Oh,
so I double them up in the land.
And then you just put the grooves opposite each other, and that even helps.
Well. But this is going to be next winter's project because it's been really nice because it has all the original plates and everything on it.
Right,
you can see over there, not over 5 miles an hour in town and 15 on the highway. Or something.
Out of town 25, in town 12.
But you can see, now it's starting to get down to the wood. So this winter we want to.
Yeah, I see
because
that.
1918, the end of World War I, so we'd like to have this ready to go, the tank ready to go, and we have the Indian Power Plus that's up on the hill. When I redid that one, I did it in Army colors, so we'd like to have those 3 ready.
Oh, 1918, you got that 100-year thing going on. May I step here?
Sure.
Now, could you imagine being wounded with some kind of, I'm not quite getting enough light. Some broken bone, or God forbid, a spine injury, and you're going down the road at 25 miles per hour, just getting beat to death in this poor thing. Oh. I see. They put your. God, it looks like he just used pallet material to build this barn.
Oh, forget it. It's all of that. And this is the original building for the aerodome.
Well, and the scary thing is he put it right into the cement, which...
Right, so that's all going to rot out.
Yeah, which means at some point...
don't even think about it.
Yeah, you're already...
Yeah, we're already compromised. And you can see here.
Yeah, I don't think I'd keep valuable stuff in here.
You can see here how, because it's on a swamp, everything. So the bottom of the wall is kicking out.
Yeah, this is all pallet material. You can see it's all recycled and so forth.
Yeah.
Kurt, it looks like Cole Palin and I had a little too much in common.
Yeah.
Oh, it keeps going. There's a lot of great stuff here.
Yeah, I'll just go up and show you the fire truck.
Oh, everybody loves a fire truck. Now, that thing actually goes out and flies?
That one just hops the field, the Blériot, and the one behind it, the Curtis Fisher.
Okay.
And actually, all three of those, they just hop the field.
Okay. I mean, if you were escaping for your life, you could take off in it.
Yeah,
but
they could. Actually, the Curtis Pusher, John Stover and I rebuilt the first engine that was in that. And they trucked it or shipped it out to Australia to a big air show, and they did laps in it. Pretty amazing. Let's see that over there. That's the armored car.
Okay. Oh, that's just an old standard
like I said,
truck.
It was a regular truck, and then they
Oh, you mean further?
That turret, see the round thing on the back?
Yeah.
That's a turret that would go up on top of that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the old one. The other thing right alongside that barn is a more modern
What's that?
truck. Your fuel truck.
That's the fuel truck, yeah.
You got a railroad car, huh?
Yeah. I don't know how they got that here, but.
I guess this is where the spectators all sit down.
Yeah, here and up there. Yeah.
So, when the landing gear gave out on that one, the lost bolt, and the landing gear collapsed, he did that right here somewhere?
Right over here, yep.
And there wasn't a show that day or anything.
It was in the morning, so it was just before the show.
He didn't get hurt, did he?
No, both passengers were fine. Like I said, Alex is a good pilot. So he did the best.
He looks like a kid.
Yeah, he's probably about 24, 25.
The old fire truck.
Yeah, this is American LaFrance. I rebuilt this engine, I guess, about 10 years ago or so. So it was in one of the buildings down there, and it was at night, and I was trying to pull the cylinders off.
Right.
And it wouldn't go. So I had a light here. No, I had a light over there, and it was dark here, right?
Right.
So I was straddling the cylinders. I think before the end of the day, I got to pull one of them off. So I just gave one last tug, and it went, which was a mistake because that cylinder weighs a ton. So now I've got it off. It's clear the pistons, but I go, shit, what am I going to do? So, no, it must have been on the other side. So I thought, well, I'll step over there. But other than that, so the light was on this side, it was dark on that side. So I put my foot down, and the bolts, these two were separated.
Oh.
So my foot went down in between them. So, of course, when you come back up,
you're stuck. Yeah. It's alligator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was a treat. But this is a sweet running engine, though.
You're lucky you didn't break your leg with that one also.
I know it. Yep, you're right.
So.
But this magneto is phenomenal. We had the fuel line used to sit closer to here, and we had different leads. It would throw an arc about that long.
Oh, right to the fuel line.
The fuel line. I looked at it, I thought, holy shit. But you know what's amazing is you can see the length of these valves. Now that valve's going from here up to about here.
Right.
So when I was restoring it, like 4 of the valves are just gone. The stems and everything. So there's a guy in Pennsylvania, I forgot his name, but I have his business card. He restores American LaFrance fire trucks. So I thought, well, maybe he knows, right? So I call him up, nicest guy, and I explain, I'm from Rhinebeck Aerodome, and so he starts laughing. He says, every time I tell somebody I restore LaFrance fire trucks, they always say, you mean like the one at the aerodrome? And I said, well, that's what I'm trying to get going again. And he said, the great thing was, he said his father is the one who sold this to Cole Palin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said it was so cool because he came up as a kid, with his father, and Cole Palin and his father went out and driving around things so he could show him how everything worked. But I mean, look at the size of the carburetor in that thing. This thing's 810 cubic inch.
Wow.
It's a big mama.
Wow.
And what's nice too is Corey, the guy who was in Montauk. He's great, and so I threw my shoulder out 2 years ago, and I said, Corey, the starter works, but it's not that great. Could you take a look at it? And you imagine how big the starter is on it. So we brought it in. It's like brand new, and now we don't have to worry crank anything. It just boom, it starts right up. What I want to do though is this has a magneto, but it also has a distributor.
Right.
Because it's a pumper, so it would sit here. That's why it has these notches, so you open the hood up and let it cool. But I want to get it so it runs on both.
Now, I've seen a lot of these have no air filters. You run without air filters.
No, they never did. They never had.
They never had air filters.
No, most of them, the early ones.
Because what's interesting is occasionally I'll get a Honda all-terrain cycle that somebody ran without it, and what it'll do is it'll start consuming the valve. Right, such that then before you know it, the valve needs to displace more to sit in the head and close, right? And then they show up as low compression intake valve, and then you back off the adjustment. I had one come in. It was a 200X that actually I actually had to notch the adjuster because there wasn't enough space to loosen it up enough. It was that bad. Yeah. This is one of Cold's original buildings, huh?
Yeah. And see, this has a compression release. See that lever coming down?
Right.
You have to move it over to the side so you can hand crank it when it's cold to get it to start.
Boy, that's a tough spot, being stuck between those things should it decide to kick back, right?
Yeah, oh boy, when I first started, it kicked back. Holy smokes.
And no clue where he managed to steal the railroad car from.
No idea.
Because there's no tracks that come anywhere near here, is there?
Right.
That's an old timer too.
Yeah.
Now, that's just, you just look in the windows there? There's nothing?
I guess. I don't ever go up in there. They just use that for the dressing rooms for when they have the fashion show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's an old town over there?
Yeah, they just use that. That's where they have the bombs go off and everything.
Oh, they drop drop stuff on it. That's cool. I hope some folks watch my videos and get on up here and come to the aerodrome. I mean, it's nice. It's just
it is nice.
It's all volunteer.
So the last thing I'll show you is the Spirit of St. Louis.
Oh, cool.
They fly every now and then. The weather's got to be pretty much perfect for that.
Now, is it expensive to get insurance for an enterprise like this?
Oh, I don't know. I would imagine.
Right? Because it's... And I saw in the on the website that they kind of tell you not to fly in, unless you talk to the head pilot.
And the whole thing is to keep it period. So if you're taking video and then you go across and you see a Cessna 172, it kind of kills the whole effect. Yeah. And we don't really have a lot of space for planes to fly.
Well, not only that, the runway doesn't look like it's pretty long. Yeah. But you got trees over there, and you got hills, and well, you might get it in. You're just not. Also, it's dog friendly. You can bring your dog right in. Yeah. This must have been the original concession stand.
Yeah, they have ice cream here, and then the food's over here.
Okay. Boy, you guys got outbuildings here, there, and everywhere, huh?
Yeah, and there's just somebody's private plane over in that one. And then I made a series of posters, like this one, the Wings poster.
Oh, okay.
And there's posters back there I made for the aerodrome.